Hi everybody, this is an astrological forecast for Capricorn for August of 2012, and this also applies if you have a Capricorn ascendant. So my dear Capricorns, there's a big focus on your work, your career this month, of course your relationships, and a little bit on your finances. So let's start out with the fact that Mercury is still retrograde until the 8th of the month, and it's retrograde in your 8th house. So important for you to consider your finances carefully to make sure you've got all the paperwork in alignment connected with your insurance, your tax, anything involving any loans or mortgages or joint finances. Make sure that paperwork is in order. It's not a time for signing contracts or for going into any kind of important financial arrangements or agreements or property or anything like that, no. But during the retrograde, good time for finishing things up and for getting the paperwork in order, for doing any research that needs to be done, for finding out information, so that when it goes direct, then you can take action. Then you can do what you need to do, and especially I think you're going to have to sort some things out connected with your finances, Capricorns. I don't know what you've got involved with somebody, joint finances, maybe somebody's helping you or you're helping somebody else, but there's going to be a light shone in that area and some things need to be untangled. Now we've got Venus, the planet of relationships and finance, love and finance, actually making a lot of aspects this month. For you, a lot happening in your 6th house of work and health. Now we've got Jupiter there until June of next year, and Venus joining, at least for the first week and a bit of this month, into that 6th house. So this is a great time for people in the workplace, people being supportive, people wanting to help you in the workplace, you finding something to do that you really love. It's also a very good time for anything connected with your health. Although I have to say to you, the downside is the fact that Venus is very drawn to anything that's sweet. Anything tasty and sweet Venus loves, and with Jupiter there, you may have to watch that you're not putting on extra pounds, because Jupiter tends to do things in abundance, doesn't do things in ones and twos like Capricorns tend to do. You tend to do things economically. This is going to give you extra, but it's a wonderful time for healing and wonderful time for going to a health professional who could be very advantageous and very helpful to you. From the about the 8th of the month onwards, we've got Venus into your 7th house of relationship. So for those of you looking for a relationship, this is a wonderful time to get into a relationship, a love relationship, somebody that really understands you, you understand them, you're on the same wavelength. It's also a great time for getting into a partnership if the other aspects in your chart do support that. But certainly should bring some nice people into your life. And if you are in a relationship, do something nice with your partner. Maybe do something that they would enjoy or something that you enjoy doing together. We've got Mars, Saturn for much of this month in your 10th house. So with Saturn in your 10th house, Capricorns, this really should be a good time for you to be accomplishing a lot. You may feel as though you've got a lot of responsibilities on your plate, but hey, which Capricorn doesn't feel that for a lot of the time? You will feel maybe weighed down with responsibilities. With Mars joining that house of work, I think you're going to be very productive potentially this month. It's not the best time for serious communications with people in work. It's more a time to get on with the work, to get doing it, not to really listen too much to other people. Otherwise, you're probably going to get into arguments or disagreements potentially with that Mars energy. Wait until Mars has gone into your 11th, and that's on the 25th of the month. It moves on. Mars goes out into your 11th house after the 25th of the month, and that's a wonderful time to really actively pursue your goals. What is it you want to achieve, and really actively go after them. It will be a good time to collaborate with other people, but you may find that there are stark polarities in what you feel needs to happen and what they feel needs to happen. So you may need to try to find some kind of a compromise, a balance. We do have Uranus aspects to Venus, so possibility of money suddenly coming in, but equally suddenly going out as well. So try to be your usual economic self and make sure you're making best use of resources. We've also got an opposition of this Venus to Pluto. Pluto, you're very well acquainted with, my dear Capricorns, many of you going through some really heavy transformative experiences within yourselves. and it's opposite to Venus as well during this month. So watch that you're not getting into an obsessive relationship or a destructive relationship. Make sure there's a balance of power where you're not feeling controlled or you're equally not controlling somebody else. There needs to be that balance. And we've still got this ongoing square of Uranus to Pluto from your 4th to your 1st house. So you're experiencing, I think, a lot of upheaval in the home, in family, in where you're living, in your whole situation around you. You need to stay fluid. There may be some changes. There may be some losses. There may be some endings connected with family. And you may need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off and say, okay, I'm a survivor, Capricorns, you really are survivors, and just plow through and work on getting stronger within yourself and not accepting anybody really pushing you out of the way, not accepting people who don't have integrity, who don't have honor in your life. They really need to go. They really either need to change their behaviors or they need to go, because one thing Capricorns cannot abide is a lack of integrity or honor. So watch out for that around you. There may be some people who you really cannot trust, people who may betray you. You need to watch out for those people around you. Just make sure you're aware and call an end to those relationships where you know that you cannot trust somebody. But do enjoy the focus of good abundance for your health and your work area this month. I wish you a great month. I thank you for favoriting, for passing on these videos, for making comments, and of course for coming for readings. I'm always delighted to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.